Welcome back, everybody. Robert Smith here, bringing you the new release of the Hammer Effect Tour. Those will be released this coming Thursday, so that should be November 21st. And I've been lucky enough to get 2 of them in my hands already. Got to throw them a little bit, and as you can see with these, I have gone back to the Sarge grip. The last 2 tournaments I bowled in, I didn't even average 180, and I've had my fill, so I decided it can't hurt, so we're trying the Sarge again. So it's it feels weird, but it's nice to be back on it for sure. But anyways, to the technical stuff. Both layouts are going to be a 80 by 5, but the difference is that this one here is a 70 and this one here is a 20, or sorry, a 30. So there's a big difference with these two, especially since the ASIM on it is much smaller. With the 036 diff, with the 012 intermediate diff, the flare and the flare rings themselves don't get big, and they definitely don't accentuate or accelerate as they're going across. So with these, I find them to be very predictable. I actually like both of the way the shapes come out of these. They're pretty predominantly different too. So unlike some of the other ones, like the Pure Envies, where I had these layouts and they were different just based on the distance where it picked up, but the amount of back end was exactly the same. These two offer 2 totally different shapes. So with that being said, the first one that I did try was the pin-up one. So this is the one I've thrown for a little bit. It's got a little bit of lane shine. I like the way it's been shaping for me personally. This one here, I'd say gets down the lane decent. I mean, being a solid, but it's lane shined himself. It gets down the lane pretty decent, but definitely with the lower flare numbers, I don't ever feel like this ball is bogging down. Like, it's predictable. It can be played pretty straight. I can also make it bend a little bit if they hook a little bit. So there's options with this ball, especially with the high rev players. So, all right, we'll give this a shot here and let you see what's going on. Got a nice little crowd there towards the left of me here. They're having a good time. Yeah, so a little bit inside. I hadn't thrown a shot for about 10 minutes, but you can definitely see on the fresh oil, that ball gets down the lane pretty clean. It doesn't stop per se, but since the core's not helping it out, it's really just relying on the shell and the friction to figure out where the distance is. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way here. Got to shoot a spare. Who knows, maybe my spare game will get better too with this grip. Be nice, mechanic. Jerry. Anyways, we're looking to, oh, these guys are distracting me. Going to slow everything down a little bit, give this ball a little bit more time. That first shot was probably a little juiced, but we'll definitely give it a little more time. There we go. Got in the friction a little bit more too. So you can see with that ball, just in the 2 shots, you can see it's not skidded, it's not early, it's got a nice shape to it, but definitely with the higher rev rates, I don't seem to have a problem with the flare. So you can see with these flare shots here, my flare is only getting around to about here. Usually with the bowling balls, they come all the way around and they go 180. So this is pretty nice. All right, sorry about that technical difficulty there. So, all right, so anyways, where we left off, where I left that 4-pin, again, you can see the ball motion was pretty smooth. It's got a decent pop. Now, remember, this is the pin-up one. The pin-up one definitely is going to have the most flare potential, but also the most distance on the lane. So, again, we'll do one more shot, nice and slow, and we'll go from there. And just like that, no carry. Well, the rule is if I leave it, you gotta shoot it, right? Okay. So again, with this ball, you can see right now it's forced me a little in. Break point's getting a little late, just doesn't quite have the dig early enough to get it around the corner. Oh, bounce. Oh, not that way. Oh, it's worth a shot. Okay, so you can see with those 3 shots, I played a little right and firm, ball went long, I slowed the speed down, the ball recovered on the back end nicely, then I moved a little left and the ball got a little late. So you can kind of tell with this ball, pin up, a little bit worn down, doesn't really want to pick up early enough to dig in. So we're going to the other one now, the 80 by 5 by 70, the pin down. And this one here, in the few shots I've thrown, definitely picks up sooner, but is also much, much lazier, tamer coming out of the back end. So we're gonna move back 2 boards right, but I'm gonna keep the speed a little slow. As you can see, that ball, that's not digging hard by any stretch. The flare rings are a lot smaller with the pin down layout, so if you want to take a look, that's how much tighter the flare rings are now with this layout. So, understood with this ball, with the core numbers being a little bit smaller, I think when you drill pin up to pin down, you're definitely going to change the dynamic of the RG a lot more. So if you do go with the pin down on this ball, make sure that you're kicking that first number instead of 80 like where I have it. Don't be afraid to kick it out to maybe 40, 50. Make sure that this ball is trying to wobble and flare. I'm going to sneak a half board right. Oh, that better hook. Oh, and that was in. So the difference is, if we keep the surfaces the same, of course, the ball's going to pick up a little sooner, but the transition out of it from a pin down to a pin up is much tamer in this ball. So be aware of that. If you do go pin up, you're going to get a little bit of length out of it. It's going to flare as much as it can, so you know it's never going to roll out. But if you go pin down, understand that I think the flare is going to go away. So this ball is going to be very tame, just a smooth, mellow ball coming out of it. So otherwise from that, hopefully everybody enjoys this ball like I am. I think I got a couple bowling balls that are going to get me a little bit more direct. Plus also changing back to the Sarge grip. I think it's going to clean up a lot of my nonsense, but that's for a different story. So otherwise, again, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Hammer Bowling, I Am Bowling, and Vice Inserts for everything. And until the next one, which will be the anger video, everybody have a good one. Thank you.